when it comes to the better quality spiced rums available in your local supermarkets in the UK, the Kraken, is pretty much the most popular. It's been around since 2010, jumping straight off the back of Sailor Jerry's demise, and probably in part why it became so popular. Because let's face it, Sailor Jerry fans had to go somewhere. For me though, this spiced rum never got me like Sailor Jerry did. I mean, it's okay, but it was no Sailor Jerry 1.0. Now, before I get too deep into this video, I just want to clarify one thing for you guys watching over in the US and maybe Canada as well. This is the UK version. We do not get, unfortunately, your 47% version over here in the UK. We are lightweights in comparison. We just get the 40%er. I've never tried the 47%er, but for all the love it gets and for all the hate comments I get on my previous Kraken videos, because you guys love it so much, I'm pretty much guessing that it's a really, really good spiced rum. That extra 7% probably brings out a whole different layer of flavours and spices to what this 40%er does. Now, if one of you guys over there wants to send me a bottle of that US stuff because I really can't get it in the UK, then I would happily sign it, kind of take that. And there's another video right there comparing this to the US version. Now, getting back to this video and the story, as I've got older, my palate has changed. It's become less sweet to a point. And while I still firmly believe that there are way better spiced rums available in the UK, I wanted to put this through the tests. I wanted to see whether I could fall in love with it. And actually, I wanted to see whether it's worth the whole £8.50 extra than what you'd pay for on top of these two, Aldi's and Lidl's. And you will have maybe have seen videos that I've done in the past, but I have never done a blind tasting head to head. Now, not content with these three, I wanted to bring some others into the mix as well, because that's a bit boring just doing three, isn't it? So step forward these two little beauties. Now, the first one is Black Magic. This is the same bottle that I probably used 18 months, 2 years ago, ish, give or take, to review. I haven't touched it since. So we've got Black Magic there, and I've got a bottle of Salford. They're Salford Dark, Salford up near Manchester, Salford Dark Spice. So they are my five. There are other rums that I could have gone for this as well. You'll probably see, I don't know whether you can see that, but you might see Salford there. Other two rums that I could have gone off the top of my head are these two, because these firmly sit in the dark spiced category as well. Let me put these there. The only issue with these are a lot more expensive. These are getting up to roughly about £30 a bottle. And while I do firmly believe that these would probably smash all those in a blind tasting, I did wanted to keep it somewhat of a level playing field. So we'll put the Black Tears away and we'll put the World's End away, and we'll stick to these five. The whole rule for this, and there was only one rule, Kraken is £23.50 at normal kind of prices. That was my budget limit. So all of these two, we'll talk about prices in a minute, but essentially all these are around about Kraken's price range. So we might as well just very quickly talk about pricing before I get into the taste tests. We've got 5 taste tests coming up today. So in fact, 6 tests, although the price isn't really a test. 5 taste tests coming up. As always, I'll probably flash you on screen now. I'll get it all poured out after this bit. I'll have a cut and filming. We'll pour them all out. We'll get Mummy Barman in here, swapping them all around so I don't know which one is which. And then we'll go from there. We're going to be doing a neat tasting. We're going to be doing a Coke tasting. We're going to be doing a ginger beer tasting, because that's probably how you would do these as well. And then we're going down a very crazy route, because 2 other big serves for Kraken and the like are actually Dr. Pepper, or as I call it, Docky P, and Ting. Now, I'm not going to use Ting. I like Ting, but I prefer Lilt. So regular viewers amongst you will know that I'm going straight to Aldi's, I forgot what it's called now, Tropical Blast, Aldi's version of Lilt, which is lovely. It's kind of got that pineapple element instead of Ting, which is just grapefruit sodas. So Aldi's Tropical Blast, proper Lilt, pineapple and grapefruit. So they are the 5 taste tests coming up. Price-wise, let's just very quickly go through it. These are this year's bottles. I have still got previous guys to this, but the Lidl, I don't know whether it's changed. The bottle, the label hasn't changed at all. $14.99. Cassario has been rebranded from Sea Dog. So that is again, so that's Lidl. This is Aldi for $14.99 as well. So those two under 15 quid. Kraken, sometimes on offer, about 20 quid. It was 20 quid at Christmas. This time of year, definitely up at £23.50 across the board. I've done 4 or 5 different Supermarkets, all £23.50 there. Tesco's, Morrison's, Sainsbury's and Aldi, I think was the other one I looked at. And then we come to these two. So supermarkets, yes, you kind of have to make a special trip for these, but online is really easy in the UK. So we can sort of play around with these. Step forward these two. I love these two. I'm not going to talk about them too much in here, but purely price-wise, Amazon for that, Master of Malt, whatever, you are talking roughly about the £23 mark. That was actually, I think that one was closer to £23.50, the Black Magic. So they are all Kraken's price, if not cheaper. So on tasting these neat, my firm favourite was the first one that I tried. It's a little bit sweet, but it's got a really nice kind of spice bite to it. There's no sort of funny aftertaste. It doesn't linger as much, but it's really, really nice. So that was my firm favourite. In second place was actually the second one. Although I will add, there's not much between that and the second one and the fifth one. I'm going for the second one purely because it's not as sweet. The fifth one I tried was a little bit sweeter, but very similar finish on the sort of spicy notes going on there. So even though they are very, very similar, I'm putting the second one I tried in second place purely because it's not as sweet as the third one, as the fifth one, sorry. That one is kind of sweeter than that, but so the first one I tried is a bit sweeter than the second one. However, it's got a nicer sort of spice bite to it. The third one I tried, neither here nor there really, bit watery. What did I put? Not much, bit watery, no real spice bite. So, you know, I'm not really liking that at all. And then this one, the fourth one I tried, it's a little bit sweeter. It's a kind of dulled spice to it, but nothing kind of in the league of these three. So that is my order that I'm doing that. First, second, third, fourth and fifth. Now we move on to the second taste test, the Coke. I've just literally added an ice cube. Again, I've put the others back in the order, so first, second, third, fourth and fifth place there. Just worth noting, I haven't actually mentioned these. These are all 40% ABV. There is no other kind of, there's no 37.5s, there's no 42s or anything. They are all 40, so 40% ABV. Now, on tasting the Coke, the second challenge, is worth noting here that there are absolutely like minuscule margins between them. There is not a horrible one there. There is not one that I would kind of pick out and go, yeah, I didn't really like that at all. Just the little notes I will take you through. The first one, number one, it was kind of pleasant to drink, really soft but dull spice. They've all got sort of subtle hints of vanilla. But interesting, they don't punch through like some of the other spiced rums that we've got to know and love, you know, all those different spices. So my favourite out of the bunch was the third one, probably the less sweet again, can mix with that, but the one that did actually have more spice coming through to it. And these two, the fourth one and the fifth one, a lot sweeter than the first three. Again, the only way to really kind of differentiate them was that the fifth one I tried had slightly more spice notes to it. But just purely on spice and not quite as sweet, the third one that I tried wins that. So now we move on to the ginger beer tasting. I've done exactly the same. I've just dropped an ice cube into there. It's worth noting, there's a huge colour difference on here. I was trying hard not to, because I know there is a colour difference. I was trying hard not to look at the colour difference on the neat tasting, and I'm pretty adamant that I didn't spot that. It's very hard to miss the colour difference in here. And there is also one of them that's frothed up a lot more than the other. So again, let's just dive into it. I have used Fever Tree's ginger beer for this one. Interestingly, this is a very different story to the cola. And the first one I did use Coke Zero for this. The first one I tried was the out and out winner. Quite a little bit touch of sweetness to it, but a really nice rounded flavour to it. Now I will be open and honest, if number two isn't Kraken, I'll eat my hat just purely for the colour. It's really hard not to notice the colour of that. There is a potential of that one as well. But, you know, that's just how this goes. I did kind of like it. It just wasn't as perfect for me as a rum and ginger beer as number one. Now, interestingly, when we get to the third one that I tried, that, unlike the Coke, I would not have that again. Whatever that is, I don't like it. It's a funny aftertaste. There's something conflicting with the spice and the ginger beer in there. It just doesn't work at all for me. And interestingly, that's the one that's kind of frothed up as well. I don't know why that's kind of frothed up more than the others. But it's just something not quite right with that third one. So that's a way last place for me. But the other two, 4 and 5, they're at the races. 4 I'm keeping in 4th place just because it hasn't got that little bit of sweetness that you just kind of need just to carry those flavours through. So that sits in 4th place for me. But then in the 5th one I tried will sit in 3rd place purely because it has just got that tiny bit of sweetness to it. But the first one for me, whatever that is, I'm going back for that all day long because that is a lovely rum and ginger beer. So now we come on to the 4th taste test. My old Macca Docky P. I used to love Dr. Pepper as a kid. Absolutely demolished it. Great stuff. Very much overlooked as a rum mixer, but I absolutely love it. This is kind of a really weird one as well. There's not much between 2nd, 3rd and 4th here. Do you know what? Really minuscule differences, like really minuscule. And in fact, if I'd chased this on a different day, I probably would have put a completely different order on there. There is an out-and-out winner and an out-and-out loser. I really loved the second one that I tried. That was really nice. Interestingly, the third one I tried that I'm putting in last place did make the Dr. Pepper quite fruity, which is really bizarre. But it is a lovely drink, but it's just not as nice as the others. So I have got a clear winner. But from there, there's 2, 3 and 4 are pretty much level. So the final test is the Aldi's fake Lilt test. It's called Tropical Blast. I really like it. Be my guest. Try it with Ting. But as I always say, I like kind of the Lilt pineapple and grapefruit. Again, I've just added an ice cube. And again, one of them has frothed up. I did notice a little bit with the Dr. Pepper, but one of them has frothed up a lot more than the rest, which is really interesting. It is worth noting in here that again, there was one very clear winner, one very clear loser, and the other 3 are kind of in there and thereabouts. Be interesting to see whether they are the same that goes through that. The one thing, again, it's this one with froth. It's just got a funny aftertaste, and it'll be really interesting to see. I can still see the glass on the Coke and on the the ginger beer. I can whether they are the same ones. This is going to be very interesting because I can see them in last. It's all right, but it doesn't set your world on fire. It's not in the same league as these. So I'm going to pick the first one that is there. There is, I would say, a second one, but then 3rd and 4th, pretty similar, pretty similar. None of those, and I should have said this with the Dr. Pepper, really allow the rum to come through. And that's the only thing I'll say with those mixes. They are lovely long mixed drinks, but you really don't get the rum coming through. Right then, so results. Let's see how all this stacked up. I'm just going to try and whip through this very quickly. Reminder, Kraken, if I can bring these in, Kraken is the number 1. Cassario Sea Dog, and I've got a lot of gas now. Excuse me. Cassario Aldi is number 2. Lidl is number 3. The Black Magic is number 4. And the Salford is number 5. So I'm just going to whip these out very quickly and go through it. So bearing in mind, all my first places are that side, so working through all my last places are this side. So in 5th place, number 5, Salford was in last place there. Interestingly, Neat. Wow. The second one is Aldi Sea Dog. In 4th place, Aldi. In 3rd place, is number 4 is Black Magic. So in 2nd place, number 1 is Kraken in 2nd place. 2 is Kraken. So what am I missing? Number 1, it's got to be Lidl's. Is that right? What am I missing? Number 3? Number 3 is Lidl's. So that was my, wow, neat tasting. So Salford, I do, I've kind of said that I do kind of really like that, but that came out last in all those. So next one up, we're going for Coke. So in 5th place, last place for Coke, number 5. This is interesting. Number 5 is Salford. Wow. Number 4. So 4th place, we've got number 2, Aldi. Interesting. In third place, number 1, Kraken. So third is Kraken. Second place then, runner-up, is with Coke, is number 4, is the Black Magic. So second is BM. And then in first place for the Coke, my favourite, what am I missing? Lidl? Number 3? Lidl. Wow, okay, Lidl. Interesting, interesting. Lidl, 2 out of 2. Salford, 2 out of 2 in last place. Interesting. Right then, let's go for the ginger. I wonder if it could look. I don't know whether you'll see that, but it's got the froth. I wonder if this is the same. So, ginger beer, last place. 5, Salford. Wow. This is so interesting when you do this blind, because I always said that I quite like Salford. 4th, Black Magic. BM. 3rd place, number 2, Aldi. So 2nd place, this is the one I said was Kraken, wasn't it? It has to be Kraken. Number 1. Yeah, number 1. Look at the Kraken. Look at the colour of that. So Kraken. No. Really? Number 3, Lidl again. So first place, Lidl. Wow, that's nuts. I tell you, it's one thing to get when you do 3 different rums, like I did. If you think back to the Bacardi that I did, and you kind of see the, Bacardi. It's one thing when you've got 3 rums to do, but it's another thing when you've got 5 rums that you get 3 out of 3 with 1 rum that wins. That's really bizarre. Right, Docky P, as I call it, Docky. I can't even say that. Dr. Pepper. Right, in last place, Salford. Wow. I'm really sorry, Salford guys. I'm really sorry. 4, Black Magic. BM. 3rd place, number 2, Cassario. Cassario. 2nd place, number 1, Kraken. Holy hell, Kraken. So in first place has to be number 3 again. Number 3. I'm going to spill the numbers, but I'd love to show you the numbers underneath. Wow, is Lidl. Lidl has a clean sweep. I thought I knew how I was going to sum this up, because I wasn't overly sure how this would go. I thought I'd have a mishmash of like 3 of them. I thought there'd be one that would come bottom, and then a mishmash of the others that would come sort of mediocre. But this is really interesting. So I had it in my head how I was going to finish this video. That is just completely and utterly changed. Right, holy hell. Salford, 5. I can't show you without. Hang on. I'll tell you what I'm going to do. Right, I'm going to tip this down. Tip it down the sink. Right, and can we see without sort of. Hang on. Don't know where the number is. Just so you can see, I'm not getting. There we go. Number 5. Wow. Salford, last place again. Interesting. Right, in 4th place, number 2, Cassario. So Aldi. In 3rd place, number 1, Kraken. No. In 2nd place. In 2nd place. This can't be a clean sweep. It can't be. Aldi. Sorry, Lidl's Liberty. Number 3, Lidl. Which is, what am I left in? What haven't I got? Number 4. Black Magic. Black Magic with the Lilt. BM. Wow. So, do you know what? There is only one way to sum this video up. I could go off, I could give you loads more spiels, but I won't. Save yourselves, what is it? $15.99, 23. Save yourselves £8.50. I've got a funny feeling, I didn't watch the video, but I've got a funny feeling, and I said that after doing that review last time. Save yourselves £8.50, get to your local Lidl and just get yourselves that. A clean sweep, bar one, and even in the last test with Lilt, it came second. Absolute clean sweep. I can't say fairer than that. Also, I will say is that, do you know what? I've really liked that in the past. And I'm not saying it's bad. I'm not saying it's a bad rum, but taste that I prefer the other four. It's just as simple as that. That's all I can really say. So there you go. $14.99 versus $23.50. Maybe even if it's on offer for 20 quid. Get yourselves down to Lidl, guys. Go.